All right, Bridgey, I'm going to give you a line for certain things, basically for a prediction, and you need to say under or over the line I give you. So, first of all, Sergio Aguero, 35 goals for the season.
35 goals for this season. Well, that is a big ask. And I don't think in the 38-game season that has been achieved yet, but the start he has had so far has been sensational. You know, he just creeps up in the right place at the right time. He looks sharper than he did last year, which is phenomenal. And I think he's going to go a lot under Pep, but I'm going to have to say under for that reason that it hasn't been. I think Cole and Shearer might have come close. And I know how hard it was myself getting 19 in one season, thinking I was flying. And yet when you think about 35 tally, it's massive.
Okay. Sunderland, 35 points. David Moyes this week said they're in a relegation scrap. 2 games in, 35 points.
I feel for the fans. I'm going to have to say over, but I do feel for the fans. I think 35 points, they're going to be over, and I hope they are. And I remember we thought we were safe when we got relegated with Sunderland back 95, 96, or 96, 97 with
40
points.
The magical 40.
The magical 40, we thought we'd achieved it, and sadly we finished 18th and went down. So I'm going to say Sunderland 35 over.
All right, Arsenal, to win the league, need to spend $75 million in the next week.
Over. They've got to spend more. They need more. I think they need a world-class striker, and they need 2 good centre-halves that are going to fill in for them, because I like the boy that they've signed, Xhaka. I think they need to spend a lot more money. And why should they? Because they've got the budget to do so.
But there's no way they'll buy 3 players, but you've said over. Let's see if they do it. I don't reckon it's going to happen. Liverpool, to win this weekend against Tottenham, need 85% of possession, under or over. They had 81% against Burnley. How do they not win?
You know, after watching the game, I was flabbergasted at the stats, because that is the lowest we've ever seen from a team like Burnley in the Premier League for possession. Yet they went on to win the game, counter-attack. And Liverpool they had all the ball, but there was nothing in the final third, that chances. So against Tottenham, if they get over 85%, right, it will be a miracle. So I'm saying they are going to get well under, and Spurs are going to go on to win this game.
You know what it reminded me of? That Simpsons episode where Homer Simpson becomes a heavyweight boxer, but he doesn't throw any punches, but he just cops them until the opposition gets too tired. They wear themselves out, and he wins at the end of the day. That was Burnley.
Ali used to do that, didn't he? When he used to mess around.
Well, it works. Bournemouth had some really interesting chants at the London Olympic Stadium against West Ham. They were basically saying, is this the Emirates? So, in terms of the atmosphere at London Stadium, the line is the Emirates. Under or over for the Olympic Stadium?
Oh, now you're asking.
We're only 1 game in, so maybe it's a little harsh, but
I think it's a bit harsh. I'm going to have to say the Emirates is still over. It's just a magnificent stadium. Now, until we see that Olympic come to life, but what I will give the West Ham's supporters credit, they make a hell of a lot more noise.
Henrik Mkhitaryan, Manchester United, signing in the off-season.
Yes.
Under or over 20 league starts? Hasn't started yet. Off the bench, both games.
Now, that's a tough one. I like that. I'm going to say under 20 starts. And the fact I'm going to say that is because the first 2 he hasn't started. I think we might see a lot more of him playing Champions League football, but for Premier League, I'm going to have to say 20 and under, because the way they've started, it's very unlikely that Mourinho wants to change it. It'll be interesting to see if Juan Mata has a bad game, if he is ditched and taken out of the team, because he started really well, but we all know Mourinho and him have had issues from Chelsea.
Well, Fellaini's there as well. Fellaini's in there, which is maybe a surprise.
Yeah, and there's big talk of Rooney. Now, I love Mkhitaryan. I love the way he plays and what he's going to bring to United, but I do feel under 20. There you go.
Final one. Jamie Vardy, under or over 12 goals for the season? He scored 24 last year.
12?
Just to quantify it a little bit, we saw on the weekend against Arsenal, he had a great chance one-on-one with Czech. He didn't put it away. Last season, he would have 100% buried that. Things aren't dropping for Leicester the way they did last season. Things can turn. We're only 2 games in, but 50% of his goals from last year.
I'm going over, straight away, over the bar. Over 12 goals for Vardy. He's going to get himself in places where you score goals. He's one of them guys. Counter-attack, he's got pace to burn, and when he gets one, it's tough when you've done what he did last season and everything he's achieved with England, with Leicester, what they have done. Once he gets one and the pressure again for this season comes off his shoulders, we will see James Vardy party for a lot of weeks and a lot of goals.
Thanks, Bridgey. Looking forward to playing that back at the end of the season.
I'll have a drink on that.
Cheers, mate.